guys, welcome back to Couch Critics.
Hi guys, we're Couch Critics, and today we're reviewing Deadpool.
Yes, it's the newest
Marvel.
Marvel slash Ryan Reynolds movie,
Yes.
and we're reviewing it.
Yeah.
I did it, guys. I watched the Marvel movie.
And what did you think of it?
It was good. It's not as good as I thought it would be, but it's not as bad as I expected it to be.
I think that's fair. I had watched a few reels about it, and I was, it wasn't bad or good. I was just really looking forward to see the first scene where there was the Bye 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 song because everybody was
Yeah.
talking about it. So yeah, but I liked it. It was a fun movie. It was a very fun movie.
I actually went into it not knowing what to expect. I had
Yeah.
no idea what it was about. The only thing that I knew was that there was a Gossip Girl reference,
Yes.
and you actually told me
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
I thought it was very funny, the Gossip Girl reference, because Ryan Reynolds, who's Deadpool, is married to Blake Lively, who
Yeah.
has a lead role in Gossip Girl. So I thought it was very funny. And yeah, talking about references, I think the script was so genius, and so it didn't take itself seriously in the best way possible.
Mhm.
And I thought that this was very funny. I loved all the jokes they made at Marvel. I mean, it's crazy. They even talked about how Marvel went downwards since the last not the last Avenger, but Endgame. So because that's when I
Yeah.
stopped watching Marvel movies in general, and I think it's the same for a lot of people. So yeah, I just love the references. I love the actors, and yeah, not just Ryan Reynolds, but
Mhm.
also Hugh Grant. And there was this guy from Succession who's one of my favorite British actors, but I keep forgetting his name. He's the
It was
guy.
the Wolverine who
Uh,
played the Wolverine.
no, not Wolverine. The guy who was the bad guy, the guy who sent him, like, who was in charge of time or whatever.
Oh, okay, the suit guy.
Yeah, the
Okay.
suit guy. This guy is one of my favorite actors. He has so many great roles in different movies, and yeah. Anyway, it was great cast.
I did not get most of the references, and I did, like, for someone who doesn't watch Marvel, I did laugh a few times. Like, I did get some of the jokes,
Yeah.
although those jokes were about Marvel movies. I did watch Furiosa, and I
Yeah.
think there was like
A Mad Max
a Mad
joke. Yeah.
Max reference, so that was easier to follow. And yeah, I I want to talk about something. It's related to what we're talking about, but it's also a little bit on this side. I went into this movie not really excited to see Ryan Reynolds, and I just want to talk about the impact of what happens in an actor's life
Yeah. The whole
on
marketing.
their movies.
Yeah.
Because okay, last week we reviewed It Ends With Us,
Yes.
and we watched that movie and we reviewed it before like we were aware of any of the drama that was going on that involved Blake and Ryan Reynolds.
And Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after that we found out that like Ryan Reynolds was involved in
It ends with
writing a few scenes and It Ends With Us, and that uh Ryan and his wife Blake are just like ghosting Justin Baldoni, and
Yeah.
that made me not want to support his movie because like whenever I was looking at the promo for It Ends With Us, all I heard was jokes about Deadpool, and I feel like Ryan was heavily involved in all of that promo, and Blake was equally involved in the
That
promo of Deadpool, and so that was kind of like a bummer for me.
Do you know that Blake was actually in Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds' kids? You know the scene where the Deadpools all show up and there's a
Oh, it
girl
was
Deadpool?
her?
That was her. And
Wow.
then the baby Deadpools, that was his kids. And that's also, I want to go back to your point, but before I just want to talk about the thing that I find the craziest about Deadpool is that Ryan actually does the Deadpool scenes, and that just, because for me, I mean, I don't know, it's just so, it doesn't. I don't know how to say it without
You
insulting
can just
anybody.
say it.
But I would always expect like a stunt double to do
Yeah.
those scenes because I don't think there's much acting to them except for the voice. Like it could easily be a voiceover of Ryan to all of these movements. And again, seeing it, maybe now it has more value because I do think that some of the movement, it's not any actor who can do it. But yeah, talking about the promo, I did think that it was like It Ends With Us was very badly marketed, and I just saw one video about the whole drama that happened to it, and I shared it with you. And ever since, my whole feed was flooded with all the content.
Mhm.
And I don't have anything against Blake and Ryan showing up together for each other's movies. It's just the way that Justin Baldoni was iced out.
Yeah.
That was the annoying part, especially that he was the director and the actor. So yeah,
Yeah, like I really don't get how a lead actor could be ghosted from his own promo and
yeah,
like you don't see him, but you do see Deadpool just because he's Deadpool and he's making jokes about being Deadpool in a movie that's not about
it
Deadpool.
has nothing to do with that.
So that kind of worked against him. Like wasn't excited to see him. Maybe if there was like another actor playing Deadpool, I would have liked the movie better, but just because it's Ryan Reynolds, he's not my favorite like the my my top actors
Yeah.
list.
If we were to talk about a great Ryan Canadian actor, I would have gone with Ryan Gosling.
Gosling. Same.
So yeah, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I really like the scene with like the hippie Ryan, the one who has the dog. I really like the dog too, by the way.
Yeah.
And I liked the Mad Max scenes
Yeah.
with that villain, that lady
Yeah.
was fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what were your favorite scenes?
I love the first scene because of the song, and again, the soundtrack of this movie, I think it saved it. It made it all the more enjoyable,
Mhm.
and yeah. So I would say the bye 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 scene because I love the zoom in, the zoom outs, the slow
Mhm.
motions, everything. It was great.
What did you think of the Wolverine?
I love Hugh Grant. I
Mhm.
think he's a great actor, so throw him in whatever movie you want. I'm just gonna be a huge fan.
Okay.
So yeah, I really liked him. I liked his role. He had a sad story, but it's what makes Marvel movies,
Mhm.
honestly. Sad past with a fun, anyway, with a fun present, and that's it. What about you, Wolverine?
Um, he was there. I mean, he was there. He was always sad and depressed, and like I don't know his backstory, so whatever. I guess he's just grumpy. But yeah, I don't know. Like this movie was kind of okay. Like there were a few moments where the jokes landed, um, but I do think that this movie has no substance. It has no nothing to hold on to, and like I did not take anything from it. And I did watch as a movie as a Marvel movie hater, kinda. I did, although I'm not a fan of this universe, I did appreciate some of the Marvels, and I did learn a few stuff when I watched them, and I was able to see a silver lining. But when it came to Deadpool, it's just a bunch of jokes and no silver lining and no substance. And I'm not sure if you're liking what I'm saying, but like,
I'm a
yeah,
huge Marvel nerd. I
I
love the
know.
Marvel movies. I've watched all of them when they first came out. I've like the latest Avengers, I was waiting for them and everything. But I have to say after the Endgame, Avengers Endgame, I feel
Yeah.
like the whole cinematic universe really started falling apart. Not because it wasn't as good, but
Hmm.
because they were just doing too much and it was hard to keep up. And yeah, and I feel like they've also realized that. And I think that Deadpool is just like an apology video for that because Deadpool did make a lot of jokes about the Marvel movies. And I think that's also what I really liked about this movie. He broke the fourth wall so many times and spoke with the audience. It went very metatextual. They made fun of the Marvel
Yeah.
movies. At some point, he made a joke about like Deadpool being discontinued, but then they brought him back into the Marvel universe. So I just love these jokes, and I
Hmm.
think it was a way for Marvel to say, like, we hear you, we know that you think our movies are not as good, and we're aware of it. So hopefully from there, it's just gonna get better. And they're also bringing back the actors who died in Endgame, like Chris Evans, who was
Yeah.
in this movie, who used to play Captain America. and Robert Downey Jr. apparently is coming back, so they're trying to bring back some of the OG actors that made us fall in love with the Marvel Universe. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I don't know if it's gonna make it worse. I would be very happy to see Robert Downey Jr. again. He's one of my favorite actors. But yeah, we'll see how it's gonna turn out.
I love how we're both making efforts in each other's niche.
Justify. Yeah.
You're like this was a huge step for me
Yeah.
to go watch this movie, and
And
I do appreciate the fact that you're trying to watch more horror movies lately.
there was a trailer for a horror movie before that movie, and I was enticed to go and watch it. And I'm like, oh my God, did Lemia turn me into a horror movie fanatic? Because I didn't feel afraid. Usually I close my eyes like
Mhm.
during the least horror scene or when the music starts getting eerie, I just can't listen to it. But I felt I enjoyed watching the trailer, and I was like, who am I? And yeah, you even suggested that we go and watch Deadpool. And when you
Yeah.
said like, do you want to review Deadpool this week? I was like, oh my God, what is
Who is
happening?
she? Are
Yes.
you okay? Maybe I should hold myself accountable when it comes to not liking the Marvel movies because, okay, when I watched Deadpool, I did like a few jokes, but I did not understand a lot of them because I did not watch the previous Marvels, and I do get how someone who's a fan of that universe who had watched the sequels and the prequels would understand this movie
Mhm.
better and would appreciate those jokes better.
Yeah.
But it did not have a silver lining. I do want to stand by that.
I don't remember this. I just remember getting out of the movie and having laughed a lot during the movie. That's
Mhm.
what I really liked about it. I don't think there was a silver lining. It's just a bunch of really good-looking actors fighting each other.
True. Oh, and you know what I actually liked about this movie? I did like the fact that those were heroes, but they didn't seem like your typical heroes. They
Yeah,
were losers,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. No, they
And
are.
I've always, I mean, we talked about this a few times during some previous episodes, and I like this idea of having someone who doesn't have a superpower, who's not stronger than everybody else, be an actual hero, because it does give a good example to like younger kids and
Yeah,
like younger people who would watch
yeah.
this movie and relate to Deadpool and identify in Deadpool.
I think the silver lining is about turning your life around.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine was really a lost cause when the movie started, and
Hmm.
then he saved the world, and he didn't die at the end, which we all like. So yeah, I think that's yeah, okay. I think that sums it up.
I think so too.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.